I was very disappointed going through these comments. It's like, come on, dude. Like, this guy died, man. I gotta air my thoughts here. It's really kind of sad and very disappointing on how it just seems how bitter and jaded the world is. So, I had made a community post, and somebody who watches the channel and who actually really likes Steven Lambert's work, the late Steven Lambert, he did pass away. I made a video about that, but he had told me that there was a GoFundMe that somebody set up, and I looked it up. Looked like it was set up by his son, who I've never met, never talked to, don't know. But his son set it up, and I've seen some of the people that contributed, and those names actually I know for a fact knew Steven Lambert, but it's really kind of sad on how bitter and jaded the comments are in this. And like I mentioned, somebody asked me to post it, and I thought, like, yeah, it makes sense, man. I had Steven on, as an interview. He was the first interview that I ever conducted, and he shared some amazing stories. A lot of you guys very much enjoyed those. So I do want to address a couple of things here. Oh, and by the way, if you actually do want to help out the family, then click the link and contribute to the GoFundMe. If you don't, or it doesn't align with your values and principles for whatever reason, then don't. I mean, you don't got to make a big stink about it like some of these comments. So I'll go ahead and address these and give my commentary on just my disappointment, man. Because I thought like our community, which I've always called the Brotherhood, was better than this. Is very disappointing. So, anyway, I made the post. Hey guys, there's a GoFundMe to help provide for stuntman Steven Lambert's funeral. Please consider helping out his family if you can. And then I put the link there. So, a couple of comments here, and some of them, are nice, which is great. Tap Duncan said, "God bless you and your family abundantly." That's a good comment. Terrence, T-Virus Terrence said, "Hello, Viking Samurai. It's cool you're doing something like this," which is what I thought. So thank you, Terrence. I'm just trying to help, get the word out. And then we get comments like Ugliest100. He says, "What is it with all these GoFundMe requests for funerals? Not trying to be mean or anything, but he worked all his life and I'm sure had assets and his family have funds too. My dad passed away and we as a family had to take care of it, which was $11,000. We didn't ask anyone. I'm sure nobody likes to lay out that kind of money, but I'm being inundated with requests. It's turning into an obsession that's getting out of control." Look, man, I'm sorry that your dad passed away, and obviously nobody wants somebody's family member to pass away, and then it becomes a financial burden on top of that, which makes it even worse, or makes it harder anyway. I mean, nothing could be worse than losing a family member, but it makes it harder because finances, people's financial situations cause a lot of stress. A lot of stress, man. So, Anyway, this guy, 2-on-2 doctor said, agree. Yak 596, I hear you. AJ's 9TDE said, I'm sure he had to have some kind of life insurance policy to cover the cost. He had a long career in the movie industry, so I doubt he was poor, but we don't know who is handling his finances. Still, I'm with you. My feed is being flooded with all these GoFundMe requests. They need to check for scams because a lot of people are out to collect the money and it's not used for what the description says it will. May he rest in peace, and I hope his family is able to give him proper burial. Okay, so now that comment kind of makes sense. I could understand somebody's frustration if they are inundated with like 100 requests of, oh, please give me money for this and this, and this went on. I could kind of see how somebody might just want to rant because of that. So what I like about AJ's comment, AJTS9DE, is, that people do need to check for scams. And anybody, by the way, who's putting up like a GoFundMe request and is trying to scam people out of money, they are beyond disgusting human beings, man. And they belong in a certain place when they're gone to rot, in my opinion. So anyone who's doing that kind of BS, that is really effed up, man. But, with this comment, though, at least he says, may he rest in peace and hope his family is able to give him a proper burial. So like, at least that's nice, you know? If he doesn't want to contribute, fine. But that's very nice to at least say that. And then, you know, what I commented, I said, you know, someone who watches the channel asked me to share it, which is true. Messaged me on Facebook. I thought it would make sense since Steven Lambert was a part of the channel in my first interview. Great interview. We don't know his or his family's financial situation, and I can only hope any money that is contributed can help the family in some way. Because of all the negative comments, because of all these negative comments, I will no longer be sharing these types of GoFundMe campaigns going forward, though, which is also true. I'm not gonna, you know, share those anymore. So, you know, the Steven Lambert one just made a lot of sense because he was and will continue to be a part of the channel because people could always, you know, watch those videos, which is good. So, you know, this channel is all about kind of like preserving a legacy, especially the 80s and 90s action and martial arts films. And he played a big part in that. So even though he's no longer with us, unfortunately, you know, this channel helps preserve the legacy. And anybody could watch his interviews anytime and get some cool trivia behind all these great movies that he worked on. You know, that's one of the purposes and reasons for this channel. So, anyway, Justin Montana says, R.I.P. I'm with you, man. Marion the Great Son said, dude, I'll try my best. Recently, you hearted my comment on the JCV video. I was so happy, and today I started my YouTube channel. Your shout out would mean the world to me. I'll give you a shout out, man. Like, I put a comment here. Congrats on starting your channel. The first step like that is the biggest. So, if you guys are thinking about doing something and wanting to do it, just do it, man. Like, life is short. Like, this should be a reminder of that. You know, Steven Lambert, I mean, he wasn't even 70. I mean, for some people, 70 might be old. For some people, it might be young. But just in general, it's going to end someday. So whatever you want to do, just do it, man. Just do it while you're still here. Rob D07 said, this is sad. He makes the Viking channel what it is today. Yeah, because like that kicked off the interviews. I was planning to just do like a one and done interview. I signed up for Zoom. I paid the whatever amount it was a month. I think it was like $15, $20. And I figured I'm just going to cancel it after I do the Steven Lambert interview because I wasn't going to go that route. But then it just kind of really kicked things off. And I found out I kind of actually like it, enjoy doing interviews. And a lot of people reached out. So it just became a thing. So I always have gratitude for Steven. And anyway, I replied to that comment. Oh, okay. So he said, this is sad. Makes the Viking channel what it is today. If I can ask, was he sick? He wasn't old. I'm not sure how he passed away. Like, I've heard rumors, but as far as I know, the family wants to keep it private, and we should all respect that. Mark Turner, 5277. Wish I had the money, my friend, but it is a shame. He was a stunt legend. Also curious on how he died, but they're just rumors. And then you got a comment like this from Scraggs. Did you hear a rumor of a new thing called life insurance? Apparently it's all the rage now. Nowadays. GTOF means get the F out of here with this GoFundMe BS. Anyway, I replied, a lot of people don't have life insurance, which is true. I can only guess Steven's family unfortunately did not. And when people are like speculating, oh, he must have had a lot of money, did all these movies. I mean, maybe at one point he did. I don't know. All I know is when I was doing the interviews, we know he wasn't living in a mansion. He was living in his apartment. It was, you know, like, so he doesn't have a house, or he didn't have a house. He had an apartment. It didn't look like the most lavish or biggest apartment. So I don't know how good he was doing, but judging by the apartment, you know, I don't think he was like this multi-millionaire that some of you guys think he was, man. In fact, a lot of like the lower budget movies don't pay that much at all, which leads to another comment here shortly. Let's see. Ethan Antonio Lopez, he gave the prayer signal. See, that's a nice comment. I'll heart that one. JBabe3282 says, no. I think he just found out that Steven had passed, unfortunately. Kane Enigma, okay, and who's going to provide for mine when I die? Like, come on, man. Do you really, like, need to air out that kind of a comment, dude? And it's disgusting that 6 people would actually give it a thumbs up, man. Come on. Juan Pasagangas, when he died, Well, I linked a video talking about the whole thing. I don't know how, but we know when, and a couple of things. Just I shared my thoughts in that video. Rent affordable. Why is this a thing now to fund other people's funerals and healthcare? E-begging is getting out of hand. And then Oliver Queen 1974 said, when my stepdaughter died in April this year, everybody wanted to set up these crowdfunding pages for her funeral, which we declined all. We are not well off by a long shot, barely making ends meet, yet still managed to lay her to rest along with a memorial without getting into debt, etc. Maybe it was my upbringing in if can't afford it, can't have it. I need a new wheelchair, but I will have to wait as cannot lower myself to e-begging or asking anyone for help. So, hey man, I'm sorry for your situation. You lost your stepdaughter. You can't afford a wheelchair. I can understand the pride you would have in not wanting to ask for it. So, I mean, I understand that perspective. I am sorry for your situation, though. I really am. Anyway, I also replied to that. I said, someone asked me to share this. If people are willing to help out someone else's family in this time of need, great. If not, and or if helping out someone's family doesn't align with their principles and value system, so be it. So be it. And then this guy, he just has a number for a username. Why don't you pay for it? You're a big movie star. Which I replied, I've gotten roles, yes, but I've barely gotten paid, which is true. The money will come over time. I'm still just in the establishing myself phase right now. So, yeah, I mean, that is very true. And I will probably actually, down the road, after I get into bigger films and make more money, I will share my humble beginnings. But there's not a lot of money to be made in independent films. Look, I'll tell you what the value is, man. Like, I would not trade those experiences for anything. For example, The Last Kumite, if you watched my interview with executive producer Sean David, that was a passion project. A lot of great people on board that. Like, yeah, okay, they got paid some, but they all kind of, as far as I know, probably had reduced salaries just because, but they wanted to do it so bad that they took the role anyway, which is great. And I really think that's why that film is special. But, like, people will make fun of me. Oh, you made X amount or that or whatever. Oh, you think you're some hotshot and you made money. You didn't make any money on the movie. Dude, it ain't even about that, man. That experience I would not change for the world. That was literally the first time I ever went to Germany. I met so many great people, including a lot of people I grew up watching. It was insane to actually not only meet them, but to work with them. Like, you can't put a dollar figure on that, man. Yeah, and people again, it just, people are so bitter and jaded. It's like, man, if I seen somebody getting that opportunity, I'd be like, dude, that's so awesome. I'm so happy for you. But instead, and there are some people that are generally, but there's a lot of people that just shitting on me. It's like, okay, whatever, man. Like, if that's going to make your life and your day feel better, then so be it. And if that's going to make your life and day feel better by saying, oh, all these GoFundMe, BS funeral requests, whatever. It's like, dude, if you really need to air it out that bad, so be it. But, I mean, in general, aside from some of the scam ones out there, hey, if this could help at all, because the family is already going through something very troubling, and the added financial stress on that is just, it creates more stress, right? So if we could help alleviate that somehow, I don't think that's a bad thing, man. I just don't. So, click the link in the description. If you want to help, cool. If you don't want to help, then just don't help. You don't have to just be all bitter and jaded and comment about it, though, man. So, anyway, I just needed to get that off my chest because I was very disappointed going through these comments. It's like, come on, dude. This guy died, man. Imagine what his son is going through. It's like, geez, and I'm sure his son has a lot of pride where he didn't want to have to ask. He's probably just not in a good situation, man. And that extra, financial burden just, it just makes things a lot harder right now. So if we could help him in some way, I'm happy to. And I contributed myself to it, by the way. Anyway.